welcome live. Welcome. We're live. We're hot. We're ready to go. So thank you so much for joining my channel. Look at this guy. Look, you guys. Look at this guy. Greg Bovino. Okay, he has been fired by President Trump. Okay, he's been removed from his role as U.S. Border Patrol Commander at Large. The Atlantic reports. Okay, he's done. He's finished. He's going back to California and to retire. Rightfully so, because he made a fatal mistake by doing that press conference and jumping the gun, making, saying that this was a domestic terrorist. Alex Pretti. I want to respect his last name and pronounce it correctly. And they jumped the gun. They actually jumped the gun, you guys. They got ahead of it because they knew. They got ahead of it not knowing the full situation of what happened that Saturday, okay? With Greg and Kristi Noem, they really dropped the ball, okay? They basically made this assumption that this guy, Alex, obviously, the ICU veteran nurse, was the troublemaker. That was the cause of attacking one of ICE agents. When they didn't even get the full story, they didn't even investigate. They just made a conclusion that he started it, and that's it. And then they did a press conference and saying that he started it. He brought a weapon. He engaged in his weapon when that was all a lie. That was all a lie. So it states here. I'm going to read to you guys. Let's just remove this. Okay. Greg Bovino has been removed from his role as the commander at large for the U.S. Border Patrol and will return to his former job in California, where he is expected to retire soon. The Atlantic report on Monday cited that the Homeland Security official has two people with the knowledge of the change. The U.S. DHS Custom and Border Protection and the White House did not immediately respond to their request for comments. Obviously not, because they effed up. You know what I mean? And still, President Trump has not acknowledged that they made a mistake. They effed up. They killed a citizen. They killed a veteran, an ICU veteran, a nurse, Alex, okay, who did absolutely nothing wrong. Then it continued to say, CNN is reporting that the Border Patrol official Gregory Bovino access to his social media accounts has been suspended. The move comes after Bovino responded to the post after the fatal shooting of a 37-year-old Alex Pretti, over the weekend, accusing of assaulting immigrants agents before he was shot dead, which we all know that's a lie. Bovino claims has not been supported by videos of the killing on Saturday. An official for the Department of Homeland Security said earlier today that Bovino has not been removed from his duties after reports said otherwise. Well, it has been confirmed that he has been removed and he's done and he has been fired, okay? Rightfully so, because what he did was just incompetent, to be honest with you. And they realized, Trump administrators, realized that they messed up. They didn't look at the full footage, okay? They didn't investigate. They just made their own, what's the word? Try to find it, not conclude, own judgment. Not judgment. Oh my gosh, what is the word? I wish someone can help me out here. What is the word? They made an assumption. Yes, they made an assumption already, automatically. This was a bad guy. He's the one who started it. He's the one that instigated it. On top of that, he brought a weapon and he engaged his weapon in front of one of the federal ICE agent, and that's it. Instead of like getting the full story. Like I said, they wanted to get ahead of it because they knew they already messed up with Renee Good. So then they didn't want any more speculations. And the thing is too, I just realized, you guys, which I didn't speak about this week when I not broke the news, but talked about this. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that witness, that woman who did not record it, is basically the ICE agent's word against the media. You know what I mean? That's why people record things. That's why we are entitled to record things, because they tend to lie. Look what happened. They basically lied and said that Alex was the instigator, that he's the one who drew his weapon and the one who started it with one of the ICE agents. Was that's totally false. Excuse me, there's a fly. Totally false. So thank God there was a recording. Thank God there was an eyewitness that recorded everything from start to finish, and did a testimony about this. And there's documents of her, Stella Carson. That's the woman who recorded on her phone, that was wearing a pink jacket, and did her testimony, and it's documented that she witnessed everything that happened. If it wasn't for her, and if it wasn't for her phone, we would have never known the truth. We would just go by what their narrative. And that's why it's super important to record things, because that is our right. Because they tend to lie, as you can see. Like, we don't have eyes. Like, we did not see what on the video footage. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, take a listen to oh no, not take a listen to yet. I don't want to show you the video yet, but I just want to show this to you of that witness who her testimony and what she said. She said, "I saw additional gunshot wound on the victim's upper left chest and another possible gunshot wound on his neck." And this is her testimony that she did when she recorded and witnessed the whole thing. Then it continued to say, the victim had at least 3 bullet wounds in his back, and they shot him in the back. And technically that's illegal. You cannot shoot someone in the back, especially you already took the firearm and it was unarmed and then you shot him in the back. So that's another mistake that one of the ICE agents did. Then it continued to say, but none of the ICE agents who were near the victim were performing CPR. So they let this man die. They did not perform CPR. They didn't even, people were trying to aid Alex, wanted to help him, but ICE agent refused for anyone to get near Alex's body. They waited until the ambulance came, and it was already too late. Then it continued to say the man did not approach the agent with a gun. He approached them with a camera. And that's Alex. He approached with a camera. He never had a weapon on him, despite the agent was on his face, pepper spraying him, pushing the woman. He still did not engage in his weapon. And we all can see that, you guys. We all can see that. So I don't understand why this idiot, Greg, and thank God he's fired, because he was just incompetent and dumb as a rock and a low IQ of a pretzel, for him to say that Alex is the one who engaged. Alex is the one that started it. Alex is the one that had a firearm, which he was licensed to carry. It's not illegal. It was licensed to carry. He was licensed to carry that weapon. So I don't know why people are still saying that. Why people are still justifying, like they're saying that he deserved what he got. And I'm like, I don't know about you, but people just like, people not seeing what we actually saw, the footage. We saw it with our own 2 eyes. And then you're trying to convince the public what you see is not what you saw. It's something completely different. And I know a lot of people are showing, there's some fake photos, fake videos, circling around and saying that Alex is the one against. Don't entertain that. That's like AI and it's fake, and that's not even a real photo, a real video, And that's what they're trying to do to make it seem like the ICE agent did his job. He did the right thing, when clearly he didn't. And what Alex was doing, he was an observer. He was just observing what was happening and recording on his phone. It's not a crime. But according to ICE agents, it's like you can't record anything. It's like it's just illegal to do when it's not. He was an observer, and he had every right to record of every incident that was happening. And because he did that, observe, with his phone, he got shot in the back. Got hit in the head, got tackled with multiple agents. It was like, 7 against 1? Undefensive, you know what I mean? He there was no way. There was no way he could have survived all that. And they call it domestic terrorism. Like, he's a domestic terrorist, really? And this is what they're saying about an individual approached U.S. border officer with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. And this is the handgun that they took from Alex, okay? And that's incorrect, and that's a lie. We all know that Alex did not approach any of the agent. The agent approached him aggressively, as you all can see. But again, they're trying to think that we don't have eyes to see, and there's nothing there. You know, it's just crazy to me that people can actually think that they can just try to fool us and saying that this is justifiable. You know what I mean? It's like they're saying, like, I'm reading an article right now. It says that basically what happened to Renee Good and Alex is saying that it's justifiable. Like what we saw, that it was justifiable, which actually is not. And I was like telling a friend of mine, what happened to humanity? What happened to empathy? It's like people don't have it anymore. You know what I mean? It's like they're saying that, well, they deserve what they got. Like, really? Are you really saying that? Like, to me, you're not human. There's no empathy here. They deserve what they got. They deserve to get shot. Alex deserved to get shot multiple times, 10 times. And he was unarmed. Didn't even know he had a weapon on him until they saw it behind him. And then they withdrew. They took the weapon from him, and they still shot him. So how can anyone say that Alex deserved to be shot like that? Like, there's no humanity. There's no empathy. And they were wrong. The ICE agent, they were wrong. They were wrong. Clearly, you can see that they're not trained properly because of what they did. Because there's no way a law enforcement would do that, even though there's some law enforcement would do something like that. But you get what I'm saying. Law enforcement are trained. These agents should be trained, and it's under a commander of Greg Bovino, and he didn't do his job. He didn't reprimand, or anyone didn't reprimand the agents. And I hope and pray they do a full investigation and fully watch everything and investigate and not tamper anything. That they're going to say, well, it was Alex's fault, when it was not his fault at all. Now, Tom Homan, the border czar, he's taking over. Thank God. Hopefully he can put some things in place, and people will be acting right, because the ICE agents, they gotta go. They have to go. They have to leave Minnesota and go to the next state, because it's just too much. What they're doing is too much, and they're killing U.S. citizens for no reason. I was told that they were pulling people over too, and if they have an accent, then they're one of the illegal migrants. I'm like, really? Now you profiling people? Like, again, they're not doing their job. Now they're profiling people. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. But take a listen to Craig press conference, what he had to say about Alex, the individual. Take a listen.
Alex Pretti armed when he was shot?
Again, the investigation is going to uncover all those facts, things like how many shots were fired, where were the weapons located. All those facts are going to come out in the investigation. I wasn't there.
See, pause. He wasn't there. So if that was me, excuse me, and I was the commander, I would have said no comment. We don't know. We haven't investigated. We don't have any further details. So I can't comment right now. That's what he should have said, instead of saying all this other bullshit. Okay, that's what got him into trouble. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, he could have said no comment. I don't have any details. I cannot release any information. I have to look at the footage. I have to look at everything, what happened on that day. That's what he should have said. And he said he wasn't there. Correct. You wasn't there. And you already made accusation already saying that Alex, an ICU veteran nurse, is a domestic terrorist. And you didn't even do your full investigation. You just made your own assumption already. You and Christy Knoll, bunch of two idiots which Christy Knoll should be fired as well. But President Trump is not going to do that, because he has a soft spot for her.
wrestling that assaultive subject that was assaulting Border Patrol agents. I wasn't there wrestling him myself, so I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to wait.
But he did speculate. He did. He did. And instead of saying no comment right now, we have to do our full investigation before we even make a statement. That's what he should have said.
No, don't interrupt me. I'm going to wait till that investigation comes out until I make a decision there.
If there's an investigation,
Well, you already did, my guy. You already did make a decision already.
This was a bad shooting, or have you already concluded for yourself that this was justified?
I've not concluded anything. I've not given
Yes,
you a
you
conclusion.
did.
But what I do know, is this individual was on that scene several minutes before that shooting, interfered with a lawful, legal, ethical law enforcement operation to arrest Jose Huerta Chuma. And again, it's back to choices. We just talked about choices. When someone makes the choice to come into an active law enforcement scene, interfere, obstruct, delay, or assault law enforcement officers, and they bring.
No, I'm going to stop you right there. All of it, what you just said, Greg, was a lie, okay? He did not do none of the things that you just said right now on the press conference, okay? Alex is the one that was standing with his phone, and one of the agents came up to him and being aggressive, push a woman on the ground. Alex was just being a good guy, helping this woman, and then the agent pushed him, okay? So he was not the aggressive. Your agent was. And like you said, my guy, that's why you got fired yesterday, okay? And then today he has to go. Today he's leaving. He's no longer to be in Minnesota. But you wasn't there. So you're making these assumptions. You're saying all these things when you didn't even have the full facts. You didn't have the full evidence what happened that day. You just made your own conclusions, and it was just sticking with what the agents telling you. Disgusting.
A weapon to do that. That is a choice that individual made.
No, he made a choice to help two women. Okay, that was his choice. He was being nice and kind. Okay, because that's the man that's the person now that he is, according to his sister, his family, his workers, his staff. That's the type of man that he was. He likes to help people, and that's what he was doing. He was helping people. You prick. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just so upset and annoyed that he can just actually stand on a podium and say that. That's why he got fired. Look at his face. I can't. It is ridiculous. The next clip that he's on CNN, and then the woman was telling him, like, how can you say that he's a domestic terrorism when he did not pull up his weapon, he did not pull up his firearm, he didn't even engage after the fact that he was being attacked, after the fact that he was on the ground, and several agents was just on top of him and beating him up. So take a listen to his interview that he did on CNN.
To us from every angle, sir, that he was approached by them when he was helping another individual who was pushed down. What evidence do you have that he was assaulting?
Yeah, what evidence, my guy?
Dana, we don't need a suspect's help in an active law enforcement scene.
When you say suspect, what is he suspected of?
That's an active law enforcement scene. He knew that was an active law enforcement scene, especially when the officers approached him, and it's very evident he did.
Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense when he said a suspect? He's not even a suspect. That was not even the guy that you're looking for. And he even said it in his press conference. So how can you say that Alex is a suspect? And he couldn't even answer the question. He was just dodging it and saying some other BS.
Did not need to be where he was.
When somebody is pushed down and a person's instinct is to help that person, when somebody's pushed down by law enforcement, you're saying that you just stand back and let law enforcement do what they're doing?
You know, Dana, every situation is different. What our officers are faced with here in Minneapolis are chaotic, very difficult and violent situations in which individuals, and this suspect is not the only one to bring a loaded weapon to a riot.
Well, he is allowed because it's licensed, so it's not illegal. He can bring a firearm with him because That is his Second Amendment right. So I don't know what he's talking about. It's like, you can't have guns, you shouldn't have guns, da da da. It's like, it was permit, okay? It was licensed. He was allowed to carry a firearm with him. So it's not against the law. It's legal. It's not illegal. So I don't know what he was talking about. You know, you know what he was doing? Word salad. He was giving a lot of word salad and a lot of BS. That's what he was doing. It was not making sense. And like I said, a low IQ of a pretzel.
Situations are chaotic and ever changing. Follow directions for law enforcement. Don't inject yourself knowingly beforehand into a law enforcement situation.
With respect, it feels as though in some ways you're blaming the victim here.
Right.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents. I'm not blaming the Border Patrol agents.
You see, you heard what he said. He's not blaming the Border Patrol agents, which is actually their fault. That's the reason why Alex was dead, because of the Border Control incompetence, okay? Because they were not following protocol and they were not trained properly. So how can he say that with a straight face that he's not blaming the ICE agents? Does that make sense? Like, where is humanity? It's like they're aware that they messed up. They're aware that they act up, okay? And they're not even taking any full accountability, you guys. You don't see it. No accountability, not apologizing to Alex's family, saying, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. After looking at the footage, we dropped the ball. What the agent did was wrong. They're going to be reprimanded. They're going to be fired. That's what they should have said. That's what he should have said, because he is the commander. He didn't do that. He didn't say all that. He did not blame the agents at all. Like, basically, in layman's terms, what he's saying, that it was not the agent's fault. It was Alex's fault, because he shouldn't have been there. He should have listened and comply, and also he should not have brought a firearm with him. So it was Alex's fault that he died. Basically, that's what he was saying. Absolutely disgusting. He disgusts me. That's why I'm glad that he is fired and he has to go.
Agents, the victim are the Border Patrol agents. The suspect put himself in that situation. The victims are the Border Patrol agents
not.
there.
I just want to also go back to what I was asking about with regard to what Secretary Noem said, that he was brandishing a gun. At any point, do you have any evidence that, yes, he had a gun on his person? Was he brandishing it?
We heard the law enforcement officer say gun, gun, gun. So
that was after the fact, but
they knew there was a gun. So again, that's going to be part of that investigation as to what was happening on the ground there between those victims, the Border Patrol agent victims, and the suspect.
He was not a suspect. His name is Alex Pretti, okay? That is his name. An ICU veteran nurse, okay? He was never a suspect. Again, what a dumb ass he is. Excuse my French, okay? Now, I'm glad that he said all this stuff, because now I'm going to show you a video, okay? And I have to warn you that the graphic images are in languages, it's bad. So I just want to warn you guys in advance. And also I'm going to mute the gunshot noise, okay? Because, I have to be very, very careful with YouTube, and I'm not trying to get any strikes. So I have to be very, very careful. However, the video that I'm going to show you is the New York Times video, and it's a frame-by-frame assessment, reveals the flaw and lethal action by the federal agents, okay? It's going to show you everything, okay? Even though I showed you this week, different angles. Excuse me, I didn't mean to spit. Oh, good Lord. Sorry. That's me being passionate, you guys. But anyway, this video, it shows every frame by frame, okay, in slow motion, and it's going to show you from head to toe. By seeing this video, you guys, how can anyone say something completely different? How can anyone say that Alex is the aggressor, that he's the one who started it? No one can't tell me or anyone else otherwise, because we all saw the video. We all saw everything, including that eyewitness, okay? So you cannot try to convince the public that what happened that day on Saturday was something completely different. You can't try to brainwash us or try to manipulate the public or trying to lie. Well, you did try to lie to the public, but then when the video came out and showed something completely different, what the narrative they're trying to tell us, then they knew that they messed up. That's why that guy got fired, Craig. Okay, he's gone because they knew that they messed up. Because even though they're still doing their investigation, and the investigation is still pending, that what they did was wrong. It was wrong. It was careless. It was just reckless, and they knew it. And that's when now they're doubling down and backtracking everything. Okay, so take a look at this New York Times video. It's frame by frame, like I said, assessment of the incident that happened on Saturday.
When federal agents shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Pretti in Minneapolis on Saturday, officials said he approached agents with a handgun intending to massacre them.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
But a Times analysis of video footage from the scene and the moments when two officers opened fire clearly contradict federal government statements. Pretti does not appear to pose a threat to agents. In fact, at several critical junctures, he's outnumbered and under their control. Here are the key moments that reveal what happened. We see Pretti walking about filming a group of protesters who are speaking with a federal agent. He's holding a cell phone in one hand. The other hand is empty. It's just over 30 seconds before the shooting when a protester is pushed to the ground. Pretti steps between her and the agent who'd shoved her, briefly putting his hand on the agent's waist. The agent pepper sprays Pretti's face. We can see Pretti is still holding his phone in one hand, while holding his other hand up to protect himself against the spray. Contrary to statements by federal officials, he's made no threatening movements towards agents. Pretti, who had a firearms permit, carries a gun holstered on his right hip. But he doesn't reach for it, and it appears agents are unaware the gun is even there. He reaches toward the protester, apparently trying to help her up, while agents begin grabbing him from behind. He tries to pull away, and again. So
there's a moment that you're going to hear gunshot. I'm going to mute it, but it's going to still continue playing with the caption. So I just wanted to let you guys know that ahead of time.
He makes no threatening movements towards the agents. But agents pull him backwards and force him to the ground. Then now we'll slow things down so each moment is clear. Here is Pretti. Several agents are restraining him, and this is the Border Patrol agent who will shoot him first. This appears to be when agents first notice that Pretti is carrying a firearm and yell that he has a gun. Agent who first pepper sprayed Pretti beats him several times with the spray canister. We can see that both of Pretti's arms are pinned down by his head. This agent in gray reaches to remove Pretti's weapon from his hip. As this agent unholsters his gun, nudges the agent out of the way, to rewind and focus on the agent who shoots first. Just seconds before he fired, he was facing away from Pretti and focusing on an entirely different situation as he tries to spray a nearby woman with an irritant. The spray appears to malfunction and the agent turns as he adjusts it. That's when someone yells that Pretti has a gun. And around 5 seconds after fully turning his attention toward Pretti, the agent draws his weapon and shoots at the first shot. The firearm has clearly been removed from the scrum when the first shots are fired toward Pretti at close range. He can be seen reacting to the sound of the first shot, looking back toward the skirmish. The shooter was standing behind Pretti and not under direct threat, contradicting statements from Homeland Security officials that he fired defensive shots. He also has a vantage point to see the gun pulled from the scene, but it's unclear if he did and whether he thought a weapon was still on Pretti. He then fires 3 more shots from behind Pretti, whose arms are down as he appears to brace himself against the pavement. In one hand, he still holds his phone, and in his other, his glasses. The agent in gray who removed Pretti's gun carries it across the street. Pretti is disarmed and falling to the ground. But the agent who first pepper sprayed Pretti and later beat him with a canister also pulls out his gun. From a distance.
Again, the man was already down, unarmed. They took his weapon. Why shoot him again? You get what I'm saying? Why shoot this man again? Multiple times.
In total, the agents fire 10 shots in 5 seconds. After the shooting, an agent kneeling next to Pretti's body asks where the gun is. Showing that not all of the officers seemed to know the weapon had been removed. Agents appear to begin giving medical aid. About 31 seconds elapsed from the time agents first physically engaged Pretti to the moment the last shot was fired.
There you have it. And that's what really happened. That's what really happened, you guys. Okay? So whatever narrative that they're telling, it has been debunked. I have debunked it. Okay? Because that's absolutely a lie. That's what really happened. And that is it. And again, there's eyewitness who witnessed everything. There's recording. You just saw New York Times video of the assessment, the frame by frame of everything that happened from every angle. Again, the man was down. Why that agent with the gray sweater had to continue to shoot him when he was already down and he took the weapon away from him? Negligent. I'm sorry. The family should sue the agents. Sue them all. Because what they did was reckless and cruel. And it was not even necessary. 10 times you had to shoot an unarmed man. 10 times? Was that really necessary? Again, in poorly training. They all should be fired. It was like 8 against 1. They already subdued the guy and then hit him with the canister of the pepper spray and still shot him in the back. You know what I mean? Defensive. No one could have helped him. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace what's been happening here, okay, in Minnesota. This all could have been prevented. They was not even looking for him anyway, because he had a camera in his hands, because he was helping two women, because one of the ICE knocked one of them down to the ground, and he was just assisting and helping. What do you expect him to do? Just walk the other way? What if that was your mother or your sister or one of your nieces, and the ICE agent just knocked a woman down? You expect a man just to walk away and just mind his business? Oh, it's not my problem because it's not my family member. It's, it had nothing to do with me, so let me just walk away. That's not who Alex was. He liked to help people. That's why he was a nurse, a veteran, for goodness sake. And this is what he gets. Someone who was helping veterans. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's just really crazy and absurd. And it needs to stop. These federal agents need to be retrained again. Obviously, they don't know what the hell they're doing, because it seemed like they like to shoot and kill. It seemed like they like to attack U.S. Citizens instead of like doing the job that they're supposed to do and being paid. You know what I mean? How do you expect, people to trust you or feel safe when you're just attacking innocent bystander? He had a right to carry a firearm. He had a right to hold his phone and record it. You cannot take away his First and Second Amendment rights. That's his right. Okay? He didn't flash his gun. He didn't point it at the agents. He didn't do none of that stuff. But still, people are still justifying that he deserved to be murdered. No, let me rephrase that. He deserved to be executed. because it was justifiable, which it was absolutely was not justifiable. He didn't deserve that. He was a good person, was trying to do the right thing. And by him doing the right thing, his life was taken. His life was taken. And I'm not going to try to convince people because they go to see what they want to see, but people refuse to look at the evidence and people's action. Instead, they are attacking Alex's character. They're attacking who he was. Excuse me, this fly. Okay? I know what I saw. And clearly, Alex was not in the wrong. The agents were in the wrong. And there needs to be some hell accountability for that. They do. Because this cannot continue happening on. If they go into other different states and arresting illegal and criminal migrants, then that's fine. Do your job. Arrest the bad guys. Okay? Arrest the illegals that are not supposed to be here. But don't harass U.S. citizens because they have a camera and they want to record. That's their right. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, agents. That's their right. And for you to be upset and annoyed, I don't know what's the big deal. Your face is covered. We can't see your face anyway. So what's the problem? Why we can't record? Because they know they might do something that they're not supposed to do, something incriminating, okay? And then they don't want it to come back to them. That's why they get so defensive when you record them. That's when they get hostile. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint. That's our right to use our phone and to record. Okay, that is not against the law. Last time I checked. Okay, you cannot try to change the law and try to stop people from their First and Second Amendment rights. Sorry, good luck. Good luck. Your face is covered, so what's the problem? What's the problem? I would like to know, what is the problem? Anyhow, take a listen to this video that Greg has been let go, fired.
Changing its approach on immigration enforcement in Minneapolis. The head of Border Patrol, Greg Bovino, is expected to leave today. He's being replaced by Border Czar Tom Homan. Bovino's departure was a mutual decision, reportedly, between him and the White House, but he is moving back to his duties in California. Trump spoke to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and the Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey about the operation and the potential of reducing the amount of federal agents in the state. Frey and Trump agreed that the present situation cannot continue. Frey is scheduled to meet with Homan later today.
Yeah, goodbye. Time to go. Pack up. So you heard it. It's been confirmed that he's been let go. And he's going back to California, and he might as well retire because he did a terrible job. He did, okay? A terrible job. And this should not have happened. And then until this day, he's probably not going to even take accountability. He probably meant what he said in a press conference, and that's fine. That's fine. And as long as he's not there, and Tom Homan, the border czar, he's taking control. And hopefully by his command and by his leading, that things will be smoother now. We can cool off the temperature. Now the residents of Minnesota can, start to like relax and feel safe coming out of their home. Because right now they don't feel safe right now. Because they don't know when they're going to be attacked, when they're going to be pulled over for no apparent reason because they have an accent. Like, really? You're pulling over people for accent? You profiling people? People need to get serious here, okay? Some of these agents should not be agents at all because they don't know what they're doing or what's the main goal is for them to do, to arrest illegal migrants, excuse me. That's their job, not to harass U.S. citizens, okay? That's not their job to do that. Every U.S. citizen have a right to walk out that door and feel safe and not feel like they're going to be attacked or bullied or threatened because they have an accent. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Last video that I want to show you guys is Stella Carson, who was talking to, I want to remember his name because I see his face all the time in CNN, Brett Cooper. Hopefully that's his name. Andy Cooper? Andy Cooper. I think it's Andy Cooper. Please, don't judge me. I think it's Andy Cooper. She did an interview, and she's going to tell you in her own words exactly what she witnessed. So take a listen. Oops, sorry, you guys. Hold on. This was on mute. Shouldn't be on mute. Give me 1 second. Why this is on mute? Oh my gosh. It shouldn't be on mute. That is so weird. I am so sorry, you guys. This shouldn't even be on mute. And I don't know how to unmute it. That is weird. Okay, let me just X out of it and see if I can try this again. That is so weird. Oh my gosh. This is super important. So let me try to see if I can extract it and put it back again. That's just weird. Shouldn't be on mute. Trying to unmute it, but it's not working. So I'm going to resend it again and then show it to you guys. So hopefully it will work this time around. So just give me a second. Give me a second. It just added. That is so bizarre. That never happened before, but I guess it's first time for everything, I guess. Okay, so let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hopefully this will work. It's just so weird. And again, it's doing it again. I am so sorry, you guys. I don't know why this is mute. Like, you can't even hear it. That's unfortunate. Hope you can read the subtitles. And again, I do apologize for the technical difficulties. This shouldn't have happened. I don't know why it's happening, and it sucks. But I will definitely get to the bottom of it and fix it. That's just weird. But definitely read the subtitle. I'm just going to pause it. I'm just so annoyed, you guys. I can't believe this actually happened. This sucks. I do apologize again for that happening. I don't know why, because it was working just fine, and now all of a sudden it's not working. It's just very weird. And I do apologize for that, you guys. But anyway, I just pray and hope there will be justice for Alex and Renee Good. This incident shouldn't have happened. It could all have been prevented, and it escalated to something so bad that a life was taken. You know what I mean? A good man life was taken that day on Saturday, which it shouldn't have happened at all. And again, my condolences to Alex's family, friends, co-worker. You know, it's just sad at this in this circumstances that a good man, you know, who was a veteran nurse and who loved helping people, loved hiking, spending time with his friends and his family, just a good overall human being, didn't deserve to be executed like that just because he was just trying to help someone. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and one of you. I will see you tomorrow on live, so stay safe. God bless. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.